In a stunning turn of events, Israel, a nation long seen as a political stronghold, has witnessed the dramatic downfall of one of its most enduring leaders, Benjamin Netanyahu. For decades, he stood at the center of Israeli politics, symbolizing both strength and division. But now, the foundations of that power are cracking. What happened? Why now? And what does this mean for the future of Israel and the world?
Tonight we explore power shift in Israel. Netanyahu's downfall stuns the world. Benjamin Netanyahu's career was built on a powerful mix of nationalism, economic liberalism, and military prestige. Rising from a decorated soldier to a master politician, Bibi, as he's often called, became synonymous with Israeli power itself. He shaped Israel's global image, cemented alliances with the U.S., and redefined Middle Eastern diplomacy. Yet, his tenure was also shadowed by corruption charges, public protests, and growing inequality. For many, Netanyahu's leadership reflected Israel's triumphs and its deepest contradictions. Netanyahu's power was not just political, it was economic. Under his watch, Israel transitioned into a tech-driven economy, hailed as the startup nation. But beneath the glowing headlines, inequality widened, housing costs soared, public services weakened. And for many ordinary Israelis, the dream of prosperity felt increasingly out of reach. The same free market reforms that built his legacy also planted the seeds of his downfall. As Israel's billionaires thrived, the middle and working classes grew restless. Teachers, healthcare workers, and young professionals took to the streets. Their chants were not just about corruption, but about justice, fairness, and dignity. The social contract was breaking. And for the first time in years, Netanyahu's once unshakable base began to fracture. What unfolded in Israel is not an isolated story. From Washington to London, from Paris to Seoul, citizens are questioning old systems of power. Economic precarity, social inequality, and political fatigue have become universal languages. Netanyahu's fall is part of a global pattern, the unraveling of the neoliberal order that defined the past 4 decades. In the age of information warfare, control over narrative is control over reality. Netanyahu mastered that game, using media alliances and digital platforms to shape public opinion, but eventually the tide turned. Independent journalists, social media, and grassroots activists exposed. When truth becomes a threat, even power begins to tremble. For decades, leaders across the globe promised that free markets and privatization would bring prosperity for all. But the results tell another story: concentration of wealth, erosion of democracy, and social fragmentation. Netanyahu's Israel became a symbol of that contradiction, high-tech success masking deep inequality. As that illusion fades, the world is searching for a new model, one rooted in balance, justice, and shared humanity. History repeats in whispers before it roars. Every empire, every dominant order, eventually faces its reckoning. Not through invasion, but through internal collapse. Economic hubris, political corruption, moral decay. Israel's current moment echoes ancient lessons. Power without accountability breeds downfall. The shockwaves of Netanyahu's fall are global. Middle Eastern alliances are being redrawn. Western nations are re-evaluating their stance on Israel's internal politics. Meanwhile, regional powers like Turkey, Iran, and Saudi Arabia see opportunity amid the turmoil. A power shift is underway, not just in Israel, but across the geopolitical map. What we're witnessing, he explains, is the exhaustion of a system that promised stability through inequality. Netanyahu was both a product and a master of that system. His fall is not just personal, it's structural. And until nations address the roots of social and economic imbalance, more such crises will emerge. Netanyahu's downfall is more than a headline, it's a warning. When leaders trade justice for profit and unity for division, collapse becomes inevitable. But within crisis lies opportunity to rebuild, to rethink, to renew. The question is not just what happened to Netanyahu, but what comes next for Israel and for all of us.